While yoga may lag behind in terms of building its tempo as compared with the other forms of exercises, but it definitely doesn't play the second fiddle when it comes to the benefiting the body, both physically and mentally. No wonder then it is known as a perfect tool to bring balance to our body. And it's a great honor to be invited by Aparna Patwardhanji, the director of the Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center, the Embassy of India in Bangkok, to showcase our production Euphonic Yoga, which is an amalgamation of yoga with Indian classical music and Indian classical dance, which has been validated by the CID UNESCO and has been stated as the top 10 wellness startups in India in 2019. So, taking this journey further, we introduce you to our production, which is unique of its own kind, Euphonic Yoga. As we all know, the human body is a miniaturized form of the universe around us, and it's all the game of the ball of atoms and molecules. These vibrate continuously and produce energy, and some creating, absorbing energy, and others emitting. Balance and imbalance of these energies maintain the environment within us, and the movement of yoga is one such thing which helps to maintain this balance. And others are the Indian classical music and Indian classical dance. And as I said, this beautiful amalgamation of these three enlivens our whole body and is known as the euphonic yoga, a unique concept in itself. It would be interesting for you to know that there are seven musical notes, sa re ga ma pa dha ni, and these seven musical notes resonate with the seven energy centers in our body within us. Those are the Mooladhara chakra, the root chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra, also known as the sacral chakra. The third chakra is the Manipura chakra. The fourth is the Anhat chakra. The fifth is the Vishuddha chakra. The sixth chakra is the Ajna or the third eye chakra, and the seventh chakra is the Sahasra chakra or the crown chakra. The Indian classical music compositions help to activate these specific chakras, which allows the Kundalini energy to rise easily and energize and nourish the chakra. These specially composed compositions also influences the chakras to maintain an optimum spin and balance, ensuring a balanced energy supply to the different organs connected to these specific chakras. If I say, for example, the yoga asanas like Matsyasana, Sarvangasana, Bhujangasana, when performed with Rag Bhairavi, it affects the Vishuddha chakra, and it is found to uproot the diseases of the kapha dosh like asthma, chronic cold, cough, and some of the sinus and chest related problems as well. Similarly, ragas like Puriya Dhanashri or Ramkali, which affects the Sahasra chakra, are very good to get away with the anxiety and depression levels. So, this concept of euphonic yoga has been able to incorporate the three Indian classical dance forms, the Bharatnatyam, Odissi, and Kathak. For example, or for instance, Kathak has a profound leg movements enhanced by ghungroos, or even for that matter, the Bharatnatyam or Kuchipudi. The spins or the chakkars, when taken in the dance form, it affects directly the Mooladhara or the root chakra, also because of its earth element that affects it. The form movements are determined by your physical and mental well-being, and so the spins requires meditative level of concentration. It is said that the foot has a nerve endings to all the internal body organs, and these spins presses the acupressure points on the feet, which helps to maintain a balance within the body. Taking this beautiful journey ahead, I would take this opportunity to share a very beautiful chant, taking the permission from our gurus and seeking blessings and taking this journey further with showcasing our three chakras for today's this beautiful session.
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
After this beautiful chant, we take this journey of 7 chakras, the 7 mystical chakras further, where in today's session we will be taking up with 3 chakras, starting up with Manipura chakra, also known as the solar chakra. The second chakra which we'll be talking about would be Anhat chakra, the heart chakra, and then the last would be the Ajna chakra, the 6th chakra from the chakra journey, also known as the third eye chakra. So let's take it further with Manipura chakra. After entering your body in chakra and aligning your core between the heaven and the earth with the first 2 chakras, the next step is to activate your energy body and direct that energy in a way that it is mindful. The first chakra gives you your foundation, the ground to root into. Without the solidity of matter, you have no edges, no boundaries for containment, no way to build up the energy, nothing to push against in order to rise. In the second chakra, you get matter moving. You move your body, your joints, your prana, your breath. The faster you move, the more heat is created. This heat is caused by friction. So matter and movement combine together to generate the element of the third chakra, which is the solar chakra, the third from the chakra journey, the Manipura chakra. This chakra is the city of jewels, in which we find the pearls of clarity, wisdom, self-confidence and well-being. The tattva, the element of Manipura chakra is Tejas, fire or Agni, and therefore this chakra is also known as the fire or the sun center. The fire element manifests within the body as body heat. The Manipura chakra controls our energy balance and supplies the digestive organs with this energy. When it fans and regulates the digestive fire, it also makes an important contribution to stable and healthy constitution. Humans are the only animals to control fire. We alone are capable of complex acts and will. This is done by regular yoga poses. Today we bring forward the yogic postures such as the bow pose, also known as the Dhanurasana, followed by Ushtra Asana, also known as the camel pose. When these are combined with the Bij mantra Ram under the frequency of 659.3 Hz and is merged with Indian classical music raga Deshkar, the effect quadruples. So let's take few moments further to feel the same. Even while performing the asana, we can always chant the Bij mantra Ram for a better concentration and for better effects. So let's take this journey of Manipura chakra with the 2 asanas further, Dhanurasana and Ushtra Asana. We start the journey of asanas with Dhanurasana, or also known as the bow pose, and we form it by lying on our stomach on the mat. Fold your knees and take your hands backward and hold your ankles. Breathing in, lift your chest off the ground and pull your legs up and back. Look straight ahead with a smile on your face. Keep the pose stable while paying attention to your breath. Your body is now curved and taut as a bow. Continue to take long deep breath as you relax in this pose, but bend only as far as the body permits you to do. Do not overdo the stretch. After 15-20 seconds, as you exhale, gently bring your legs and chest to the ground. Release the ankles and relax, lying down on the stomach. So this was Dhanurasana for all of you. Dhanurasana or the Poe pose helps to strengthen the back and the abdominal muscles. It stimulates the reproductive organs, it opens up the chest, neck, and shoulders, it tones the legs and the arm muscles, it adds greater flexibility to the back. It's a good stress and fatigue buster. It relieves the menstrual discomfort and the constipation, and it helps the people from kidney disorders. The asana going further with is Ushtra Asana or the camel pose. This is one of the backward bending yoga asana for strengthening the back and the spine. In Sanskrit, Ushtra means a camel and the asana is a pose. It is a good posture for developing flexibility of the spine and the neck. And here we go ahead with the formation. We kneel down and sit on our heels, keeping the heels and the knees slightly apart. Now raise yourself up on the knees. Stretch your hands backwards and slowly bend your head and back with the chin raised. You can place your hands on the either side of the hips. Stabilize yourself in this mid position. You may continue stretching till your hands reaches down and you can feel the heels of your feet. Rest your hands on the heels. Make sure your chest is expanded and the neck is fixed backwards with the gazing towards the sky or the ceiling. Remain in this position as per your comfort level. You may go from 30 seconds to 3 minutes depending on your comfort level. To release the position, inhale and come back to the kneeling position. During the return, the beginners should be very careful for not to lose their balance and fall. Coming back to the original position, you may relax in Vajra Asana. This asana gives a good stretch on the back, chest, hips and neck muscles and is helpful for back pains, stooping shoulders and also for correcting the postural defects of the spine. It tones the digestive, excretory and reproductive organs. Ushtra Asana improves the flexibility of the spine and expands the chest, improves its capacity. Ushtra Asana should be avoided by the people who are suffering from neck problems and vertigo. Taking this journey further of Manipura Chakra, we will showcase a short glimpse of yogic dance incorporated in Rag Deshkar. In Vedic mythology, Agni is the god of fire. His name is the first word in the most ancient text, the Rig Veda. He is a predominant fire that sparks all the other fires, from which we get the word ignite. As a receiver of sacrifices, he is ever young. His energy is constantly renewed by the flame of life. So here we take the journey further with Manipura Chakra, the composition in Rag Deshkar. Let's take this journey further with our next chakra, the fourth chakra from the chakra journey, the heart chakra. And the key to opening the fourth chakra is to soften, which will then allow you to expand. The Anahata chakra is one of the most beautiful and the richest chakras and invites us to dwell longer in an inexhaustible treasures of delightful feelings and experiences. It is located in the region of the heart in the center of the chest, and that is why it is also known as the heart center. It is not without the reason that the heart is regarded as a symbol of love. For Anahata chakra, it is the seat of love, ruled by the element air. So let's experience the journey of heart chakra with the asanas from the same family, beginning with Kati Chakrasana, Ardha Chakrasana, and then the full wheel pose, the Chakrasana. These may be combined with Rag Ahir Bhairav, merged with Beach Mantra Yam. We will also take this journey further of Anahata chakra with the beautiful hand gestures after the asanas. So to begin with the asanas, don't forget to join in your vocal plug-in with the mantra Yam. It is composed in Rag Ahir Bhairav. We begin the journey of asanas with our asana called Kati Chakrasana or the standing spinal twist. So we form this beautiful asana by standing up straight with our feet together. As you breathe in, stretch your hands to the front, placing the right palm on the left shoulder and placing the left, taking it behind to the back. Exhale and gently twist from the waist to the left and look back over the left shoulder. Make sure your feet are glued to their place and this gives you a better twist. Breathing in, come back to the center. And breathing out, change the position of your hands and turn to your right and repeat the yoga posture. Breathing in, come back to the center. And repeat this yoga pose a few times on both sides. Then breathing out, bring your hands down. This beautiful pose, Kati Chakrasana, is good for relieving constipation. It strengthens and improves the flexibility of the spine and waist. Both for arm and leg muscles, it's very, very good. And it opens up the neck and shoulders and strengthens the abdominal muscles and lower the back. People who are having hernia, slip disc, or even have undergone a recent abdominal surgery should avoid doing the spinal twist or the Kati Chakrasana. We take this journey ahead with our next asana, that is Ardha Chakrasana. Ardha Chakrasana or the half wheel pose. It's more easy to practice than Chakrasana and it's a guider's guide to for the beginners. So how do we do it? It's by standing straight in Tadasana. Now while inhaling, we raise our hands up straight and bend backward. You can also hold your hips with your hands, bending backward without bending your knees. Hold this position for a few seconds and continue breathing slowly. And now while exhaling, come back to the starting position. You can repeat this cycle for 3 to 5 times. Ardha Chakrasana is effective to reduce stomach and thigh fat. It stretches our stomach, intestine, abdomen organs. It stimulates the pancreas and controls high blood pressure. It improves the lung capacity. It brings flexibility to your spine and back muscles. It tones the arms, thighs, waist and shoulders. It relieves the pain in the neck and the shoulders, and one of the best exercise to get relief from the back pain. It also cures the respiratory disorders. It stimulates the abdominal organs. It also is a good exercise for the heart health, which regulates the blood pressure and is effective to relieve from the menstrual disorders. The patients of the serious spine and hip problem, ulcer, hernia, or high blood pressure should avoid doing this pose. So this was Ardha Chakrasana or the half wheel pose. We go ahead with the next pose, that is Chakrasana. Lie flat on your back like a Shavasana on the ground. Bend your knees and bring your heels closer to your hip. Make sure that you keep some distance between your feet. Now raise your hands and bring your palms under your shoulder or close to your shoulder. Now while inhaling, press your palms and feet on the ground and lift up your body. Try to raise your hips as much as you can. Hold this position for a few seconds according to your capacity and keep breathing normally. Now release your pose slowly to come to the starting position. Repeat once or twice. So this was Chakrasana for all of you. It strengthens your abdomen, the spine, the shoulders, hand and legs. It improves the function of digestive and reproductive system. It is effective to cure thyroid disorders, good for back pain, stretches your chest and lungs, and strengthen the pancreas, the liver and the kidneys. Anyone who is suffering from heart problem, low or high BP, the blood pressure, vertigo, spine problem, cardiac ailments or hernia should avoid doing the Chakrasana or the full wheel pose. It is interesting to note that many hand gestures used in dance coincide with the hand gestures or the hand mudras used in the yoga. Yoga states that the fingers of our hand represents the Panch Mahabhutas or the 5 elements. And touching one finger in combination with others, and these different combinations create circuits in our body through which energy flows. Such a flow of energy allows the body to gain better circulation of blood, indirectly formulating long-term health benefits. Different hastas or the hand gestures are used to communicate specific ideas, events, actions, or even the creatures in dance. And each mudra is not just a representation, it has a specific impact on our body. Our fingers continuously emit various vital energies, electric waves and the auras. Yogis believe that when different fingers form these mudras, they start electromagnetic currents in the body. And this stimulates our conscious center, creating balance and promoting health. And thus holding each finger for a minute or more than a minute leads us to achieve mental, physical and spiritual balance. Ganesh Mudra. Ganesh Mudra is a powerful hand expression to overcome all obstacles. It's a yogic hand gesture which helps the practitioner to connect with and to awaken the energy within. To form the Ganesh Mudra, one should sit in a comfortable position, which may be a Sukhasana, which may be a Padmasana, or which may be even sitting on a chair. You can also do it while standing as well. And to form the Ganesh Mudra, hold your left hand in front of your chest with the palm facing outward. Bend the fingers and grasp your left hand with the right hand, which has its back facing outward. Move the hands to the level of the chest, close to your heart, and while exhaling, pull the hands apart, without releasing the grip. Then change the hand position. Your right palm now faces outward. Now meditate for a while. You can use this mudra daily or as needed. The benefits of Ganesh Mudra extend to the cardiac muscles, the muscles of the chest, shoulders and arms. It also helps to release any pent up tension from the shoulders and the chest. It boosts the self-esteem and self-confidence. It provides the inner strength for overcoming obstacles. It helps to relieve stress and stimulate the element of earth. Digestion and metabolism problems can be easily cleared from the regular practice of Ganesha Mudra. You can practice this mudra for 5 minutes daily. So this was Ganesh Mudra, and we go ahead with our next mudra, that is Prana Mudra. So our next mudra from the mudra journey is Prana Mudra. It's a very beautiful and a very effective mudra by bringing our hands together, touching the tip of the little finger and the ring finger with the tip of the thumb. And this is Prana Mudra. We can place it on our knees while sitting in a Sukhasana or a Padmasana, or even while sitting on a chair. This mudra eliminates any kind of A, B, C, D, E and K vitamins deficiencies. This mudra can assist control over anger plus thirst throughout the fasting. It also improves and regulates the power in the mind. And unregulated habits, for example, eating plus sleeping disorders. It decreases the nervousness, therefore improving the self-confidence. It's assessed to fight against the chronic fatigue, general weakness, plus low patience. It helps us to manage emotions, for example, anger, mental tension, and techiness, pride, restlessness, plus revive the happiness, delight, enjoyment, wish, energy, and enthusiasm. The attention and presence of the mind can be greatly improved by practicing this mudra. It also has the power to enhance your immune system. Prana Mudra profit eyes too. It recovers the vision and treat eyes irritation like burning red dry eyes, cataract, such like that. It helps to remove the obstacles and impurities present in the blood, ensuring it enhanced blood movement. Any kind of cramps in muscles and the pain in the legs can be cured. This mudra can be performed while walking or sitting. Just plug in the finger-thumb combination and the battery starts charging. So this was Prana Mudra for all of you. Concluding this journey of Anhat Chakra, we showcase a short glimpse of a yogic dance performance, taking you to the real meaning of Anhat Chakra. We are now halfway through the chakra journey as we expand into the midpoint of the chakra system. With 3 chakras above and 3 chakras below, the Anhat Chakra takes you to the exact center of your core. Love. Love is a natural state of being, not only within your inner temple, but through all your creation. Even though the love is the connection and the healing from the Simo system, you sleep for it, you long for it, you fear for it. And this creates the blockages in the heart. This performance takes you to the mystical journey of joy, radiant love, tender compassion, and a deep intimacy with your own interior. This is composed in Rag Ahir Bhairav. Marking our mystical journey further, with Ajna Chakra, it literally means both to perceive and to command. The idea of perception is fairly obvious for a chakra, that is about seeing. It is through our eyes we see the world, and through our consciousness we perceive its meaning. The most common word or the most common Sanskrit name for the third eye chakra is Ajna, which means command and perceiving. Popularly known as the eyebrow center or the third eye center, another expression of Ajna chakra is Guru chakra, the seat of the master. This chakra is related to the supreme element, which is the combination of all the elements in their purest form. In Ajna chakra, the development of our wisdom and humanity is completed. Sharing a bit more about the sixth chakra, the Ajna chakra, we take you ahead with Raj Kapotasana in 3 variations, which is here merged with Rag Nat Bhairav with Bij Mantra. So let's enjoy the same. So let's go ahead step by step. With the first variation, we go ahead by getting onto a box position, that is by being on all fours. Bring your left knee forward towards your left wrist and stretch out the right leg. Depending on your body, the left leg may be just behind your wrist or towards the outer or the inner edge of it. Slide your right leg back and point your toes, the heels pointing towards the ceiling. To stretch your right leg out further, tuck your toes and pull your leg out, knee out and stretch. This makes the first variation. Experiment with what feels right for you, giving you the right stretch on the outer hip but without discomforting your knee. Your left ankle will be somewhere in the front of your right hip. Going ahead with the variation 2, this posture is continued by placing your hands on the side of your left leg, push your palms a bit back and drop your neck. Don't hunch your back, stretch it up and then drop your neck. So this was variation 2 and we take you further with variation 3. And with the third variation, gently pointing your toes, bring your leg up in touch with your hand with the support of your hand. And this makes the complete one-legged pigeon pose. As we age, our skin starts to sag due to the lack of oxygen in various parts of our face. And it's the last thought that comes to our mind. Face yoga is a combination of facial expressions, massage, acupressure and relaxation techniques to promote better blood flow to different parts of the face, thereby allowing an adequate amount of oxygen supply to the facial skin and muscles.
Puffing your cheeks with air is a good exercise for your facial muscles. Start by taking a deep breath and fill your mouth with air. Hold your breath for about 5 seconds before letting it out completely. Alternatively, you may also try blowing balloons to strengthen the muscles around your mouth. These exercises will help you to deal with chubby cheeks. Similarly, puff the air to the right side of your cheek, blow it out and puff the air to the left. Blowing it out. Now it's a turn for the upper lip area. So puff the air on the upper lip area and blowing it out. Now comes the down. The lower lip, puff the air to the lower lip. And this completes the puff the air.
Our next exercise towards the facial yoke is de-stress yourself. Bring the tip of the fingers of your hands and place it on the forehead, the place of the Ajna chakra, the third eye chakra, and give unnecessary pressure and slide it to the end of the forehead. This practice gives you instant relief when you are stressed and have a headache. And this was De-Stress Yourself. We conclude this sixth chakra with a short glimpse of yogic dance in Ajna Chakra. Ajna Chakra is located on the third eye, which is also the conscience. The two physical eyes see the past and the present, while the third eye reveals the insight of the future. It beautifully showcases the darkness when you're physically not ready to see the future. You'll be always in desperation, with immense unhealthy desires, relentless cravings, sometimes not in your control, creates negativity all around. But soon the darkness is overpowered by light, and the negativity is overpowered by positivity. When one establishes oneself in the place of the eyebrows, he goes beyond all kinds of desires that motivate life and impel one to move in many directions. All experiences and ideas serve only to clarify one's perspective in Ajna Chakra. The place of neutrality appears as a balance between the solar and the lunar energy within the body. And this is what Ajna Chakra is all about. So here is a short glimpse of it.
मन मंदिर तन सुखद स्वरूप, मन मंदिर तन सुखद स्वरूप, नाद भेद को ध्यान कर, नाद भेद को ध्यान कर, स्वरूप मन मंदिर तन सुखद स्वरूप नाद भेद को ध्यान कर नाद भेद को ध्यान कर जान स्वयं तू स्वयं स्वरूप स्वयं स्वरूप स्वयं स्वरूप
I once again, Shruti Chaturlal Sharma, the granddaughter of the tabla stalwart Pandit Chaturlal ji, and also the curator and conceptualizer of euphonic yoga, heartily thank Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center under the wings of the director Srimati Aparna Patwardhan ji for inviting us and giving us an opportunity to share the chakra journey with all of you there. Also, to conclude, because these are difficult times, praying for everyone's health, happiness, prosperity, we would like to conclude this session with a beautiful chant, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. So from here we take a goodbye. Namaskar.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति